Welcome to the first of a few tutorials on how to catalog using our database IRIS2008. What this tutorial is actually going to do is just give you an overview of the different terms that we might say when we're referring to cataloging, what cataloging actually is, why it's important, and also what all the little tabs and just the navigation of IRIS 2008. We'll go into more details about how to create authority records, how to create work records in later tutorials. So to actually begin, I just want to explain what IRIS 2008 actually is. IRIS 2008 is the database that we use to keep all the information, whether it's the title, the artist, the date, the material that it was used, the style, all that information together with the image. So this kind of pulls everything together and then allows us to, when we post it to IMDID, which is our image database, to have both the information about it and the image together. Um, Now, IRIS 2008 is actually a database or just a plain file that fits inside the FileMaker Pro. FileMaker Pro is the application that runs it, while IRIS is actually the file. So you may hear me talk about FileMaker, you may hear me talk about IRIS. IRIS just works inside and with FileMaker. So what we're actually going to do is, now that we know what IRIS is, we're going to start looking at the different tabs, and actually what they are called is tables. Um, what you have up here is, this is first of all the main page, and at the main page, in every page, you will see a number of different tabs. The major ones that you will actually see most times are the authorities, orders, images, and works. Don't worry about the VRMS or the wild search or the web resources. They're really not that important. Um, what we actually do, I'm going to start in with the orders. Every time we get faculty request for images from a book or slides or whatever, we actually have to first put it in this system before we do anything. So when we actually digitize a work, it will automatically have a number associated with it. We always have to make sure that each image has a number, and that number only is with one image. So this is what IRIS 2008 in the orders actually starts to do. Up top, just for directional, you can do a couple different things. You know, you can just move the bar back and forth to see different order records, or what you'll end up doing most often is, since we actually organize most of our orders by order number, so when you get a tray of slides or something to catalog, one of the forms, you'll see an order number. The best thing you can do is do a search, and what you have to do is just Control F, Control Find, and let's just say 2000. So order number, I put the order number in, and it was a single digital image. It was from this book, American Art, History, and Culture. It was done or ordered by Marcy Hahn, who was a previous curator, and the different information regarding. This one is a digital image. Now, a lot of these are drop-down menus, so especially on this side, you're not going to really have to create any orders, but this at least gives you an idea of who and when it was requested and created. Here's our first example of an authority record. Publication and vendors. Publications especially is what IRIS 2008 is called a relational database. So while this information here is seen in the order record, it's actually pointing to an entirely different table, an authority table called publications, that actually stores all the information. So if we click here, publication ID, This is where you actually input all the information about it, and it creates a publication ID, which is what you see in the order. So all of these tables interact with each other, and so information is stored in multiple places, but more often than not, the information is actually stored in authority files. So let's say we have 50 images of the creation of Adam by Michelangelo. Instead of having to create the information all 50 times, you only have to create it once and then just point everything to that one creation. Okay, so we're going to go back to the orders. Again, notice I was just clicking the tabs up on top. So everything starts here. The next thing that ends up happening is once the images are created here, they are put in here. Now, this is going to be a good time for some terminology. So again, orders are large groups of images, large groups being anywhere really from 1 to 500. We even have some that are over 1,000 that are part of a single order. Um, and inside each order, they are made up of image records. Each image number has its, or image record has its own image number, and this, then the image table, is what points to the order, and it also points to the work. So image is actually just the view of it. So let's say we have a building. We could have 50 images of this one building, but what the building will actually be cataloged is a work. So images are just what you are seeing visually in that picture, in that image. Whereas works, as we click over to the works are the information about that image as a whole. So for instance, this one right here is the Statue of Liberty. The Statue of Liberty could have a view of the crown, it could have a view of the base, it could be an aerial view from some airplane or something like that. But the work itself is all on this work record. So this is the component that you will be spending most of your time actually cataloging. The only thing you will need to do with the image record is be able to link that image to a work that is created. So over here, what you'll notice is this work record here is going to be the final product. However, it is made up of a bunch of authorities once again. So down here, you have all of your tabs which are going to point to the authority records, which we will go into more depth in other tutorials. But what you'll end up doing is when you catalog, you just go tab to tab to tab to start filling in the authorities. Some of them are actually already found. So for instance, you might already have to do a search for, well, let's do the creation of Adam. So do a Control F and creation of Adam. And what you see here is not only do we have one, but if you look up at this top part, this shows you how many records were found in that search, which is 29. So you can just pop your way through here and see if we can find the Michelangelo, which I think I just passed it. Yep. So here is the work record, and all the authorities give all the additional details to it. But if you wanted to create or catalog an image that is the creation of Adam, all you have to do is copy and then go back to your images and then paste it in. So just to kind of sum up, this is a very confusing idea, especially the navigation, is that Iris is broken up into different major tabs. You've got orders, works, and images, which we are in right now. Orders are the groups of images. Images are particular views of something. It's the actual picture or image. And then works are the information about that, what that the subject of that image actually is. So play around a little bit with it just to become familiar about the whole process. because what we'll have to dive into later is again the authority records, which are more broken down and are very pointed towards one area, whether it's the name, the date, the location, all of that. So we'll get into some more of these in a little bit as well.